pretty new to this industry, and I think during COVID, I got into the affiliate space. I attended the Affiliate Summit West, and that's where I got really exposed to the world. Like, I was baffled then. My idea of reaching out to affiliates is that think long term. Don't think of an offer for tomorrow. Think of a business that you build that lasts even if you're not there. There's nothing like easy money, right? Like, I hope you realize it goes that easily also. So what makes that money stick is when you have to start adding value to the ecosystem. I feel like affiliates have smaller mindsets, that they think very micro. They should always look at a macro point of view. And I think people who actually look macro end up making a lot in this business. I've got tempted so many times. Like, some Chinese guy comes and says, I'll spend 300K a day, 400K a day. I'm like, wow, and pay you 5%. I'm like, that's 15K a day for me, right?
And easy money. Yeah.
Like, easy money, nothing to do. But I know when someone comes and tells you all that, there is something sketchy going on for sure. I think one of the things that I don't like about the affiliate world is all affiliates hang out with affiliates. So the perspective is very little. Smarter people are looking for fresher perspective. And when you have different perspective is when you grow, because that fresh perspective can take you a long way.
LFG fam, man, what a past few days this has been. We completed Columbia Con 2 yesterday, and actually we're wrapping up today. We're wrapping up with the co-founder of Blink Digital. This guy has been behind the scenes. You don't really see him sometimes at shows. He's kind of behind the scenes. He's a wealth of knowledge, doing really big things over here. And it's a pleasure to have you on the show, man.
Thank you, David.
Yeah.
I think I follow your show.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to be part of it. So I guess now I'm part of it. And guess what's my first podcast?
Yeah.
And hopefully it should be like insightful for a lot of people
Yeah.
listening to it, and like can help them like grow in this affiliate space. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a great space. And it's Rikki Agarwal. I forgot to say your name, man.
Yeah, no.
Hasn't been a lot of sleep the past week. Been a great time. And Blink Digital was very generous to be one of the sponsors for Columbia Con, and we appreciate that. And we thought this would be a good for you to sponsor and be beneficial, because as you saw, there was about 40 media buyers here and a lot of people that don't know what Blink Digital does. So you had a very great topic about there's a lot of challenges that are going to come up about advertising on Facebook, Meta, all these different platforms. I want to dive into that. Before I do that, a lot of people, because you're behind the scenes, they might not know your history in this industry and what Blink Digital does.
I'm pretty new to this industry.
Yeah.
So basically, Blink started in 2009, and we used to work, or we still work with some of the biggest brands in India, like Amazon, KFC, all the big brands, and a lot of media buying, traditional media buying in terms of digital traditional media buying. And I think during COVID is when like I got into the affiliate space. For the longest time, I didn't realize they were affiliates. And then I attended the Affiliate Summit West 2.5, 3 years back. And that's where I got really exposed to the world. Like I was so new to the industry that I didn't understand why people were calling it offer. So because in the brand world, we call it the product.
Yeah.
Everything is an offer, right? So like I was baffled then, right? And then now I understand the business. Now I understand how media buyers think and all that stuff. And I'm not out there selling stuff. I'm mostly behind the scenes trying to make sure that we are compliant and we make sure things are running good, all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scene that very few people are aware of.
So let's dive into that. And first and foremost, going from brands, you're talking about KFC, you're talking in the Amazon, you're talking about, man, 50 billion, 100 billion, maybe, I mean, Amazon's multi-trillion right now, right? I mean, how do you even get into that? Because I could imagine.
Basically, that's a long process. So generally, to get a brand, we have to do like a pitch process. So where we pitch with multiple agencies, when I call it a marketing agencies. And then you make a pitch deck. So when you make a pitch deck, it's like the best resources of your office need to work on it. And then some marketing head or marketing manager decides whether they want to work with us or no. And it's a very long process and tedious process. Generally, like if you pitch 5, you win 2, 1, like, and it's kind of like, it's not as easy as like an affiliate marketing where you just get the offer and start running campaigns. So it's very different.
Well, I take a long time, I could imagine.
Yeah.
So do you think that gave you an advantage It had to give you an advantage when you got into, or was it just a completely different world when it
Gave
came to the
me
affiliate
like
world?
so it like I'm a media buyer, right? I myself I'm a media buyer. I've done media buying for the longest time. Like I remember launching my first campaign on Meta in 2014.
Mm,
Like not like 11 years back, right? Like I used to do those Insta post or not Insta post, Facebook post
mm,
promotions and all that stuff. So that world is very different. That world needs a lot of justification of why you exist, like why I as an agency exist. And this world, I think coming to this world first, I didn't realize what like they are doing, and I
mm.
like just think of me as like a nobody in this space, right? Like I didn't understand what they're doing, what they wanted to do, and all that stuff. And now here I am attending every event, trying to sponsor or trying to actually look. My idea of reaching out to affiliates is that think long term,
Mhm,
right? Like don't think of an offer for tomorrow. Think of a business that you build that lasts even if you're not there. Um, like what I've realized is the biggest Medicare guy and the biggest ACA guys have been doing that for the longest time, and they don't keep switching basis some offer, some quick money. So it's been a learning curve for me, learning curve of understanding what their psyche is and trying to influence them to think long term. So I think that's what I did yesterday also when I did that whole Facebook series of building trust and all that stuff with the system. Yeah.
and then I wanna get into the where you how you spoke about yesterday, but also, what does Blink Digital do exactly?
So basically, we are a full service marketing agency, from creative to media buying to anything and everything that we do. For example, we'll do performance marketing for some of the biggest app businesses in India, like Rummy Circle, My 11 Circle, Swiggy, all that stuff, plus Amazon and all that stuff. So think of us. So basically, I'll tell you how marketing works. So there is a brand, then there is a agency that gets involved, like a marketing agency. There are two kinds of agencies: the creative agency and the media buying agency. I don't know if you've heard of Group M.
Mhm.
Group M is the biggest media agency that exists in the world.
Wow.
They 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 handle around 60% of media spends across the world. So that's the agency, so we are one of them, like not as big as them, but we are on them. And then what happens is then there are performance teams, and then finally what performance team do is they give like so they'll give like an offer to an affiliate, say, okay, drive my app install at a $65, or drive this for $20, drive this for like $40. So we come at a level, like in India we come at a level where we give businesses to affiliates. So we'll have like a client offer, which can be an app install
Mm,
or it can be anything. Um, and then we will like give it to affiliates for performance. So
mm.
that's where we come at.
I know yesterday when you did your great presentation, by the way,
Yeah.
and well, I think we originally had you for 30 minutes, and I think it went double that, but it was good though because so it was very relevant, and people need to know that. And there's a lot of questions
Yeah.
that got asked. But one thing in particular, I remember you said something like I think you said you don't like when people think of Blink Digital just as a company that offers like ad accounts, right? I
Yeah.
think that drives you nuts.
Yeah. So basically, I think I come from a business where I need to add value.
Mm,
Um, we are an agency and we are much more than just a solution provider.
mm,
Uh, I think my goal when I entered in this business, there's nothing like easy money, right? Like I hope you realize, and in easy money can come, it goes that easily also.
mhm,
So what makes that money stick is when you start adding value to the ecosystem, right? So, like in the last 2 years, like focusing on building a tool that we've been doing, trying to educate affiliates on how to run campaigns, plus, in a sense, connecting the buyers to the, or like we now want to focus on connecting buyers to our affiliates
mm,
so that they end up getting the right contact and right all that stuff, right? So not trying to become an affiliate network. We don't want to arbitrage anything. We just want them to get the best offers and like scale that. So I've always been of the mindset that nothing in life should be that easy for you
mm.
for so that it can be taken away. So make it like if a client works with me, doesn't just see me as one, he sees me as his partner where I want him to grow. So
And you guys have a good reputation in the industry.
yeah,
I've known Max for a long time.
yeah,
People like him a lot. They said that you guys have helped them grow their businesses in a big way. So let's say there's someone new. Our audience has a lot of experienced media
yeah.
buyers. We have people that are new looking to learn. Let's say I'm someone new that came into the
Yeah.
industry, right? How would you benefit me? Yeah, let's
Uh,
say I'm spending, I don't know, I'm a newbie and I finally cracked a couple thousand a day in ad spend. Right? Is that too low for you? Like,
no, so there's
what?
nothing like low. So for example, we believe in empowering. So for us, we onboard anyone and everyone. There is no like a minimum and the maximum. Our rates remain same even if you spend 100K and a 5K or a 2K.
Mm,
Um, the idea is to give you the tools for you to start learning, or tell you what verticals are working, how you scale that. Like we are trying to get into that. So like trying to handhold a lot of the affiliates into scaling. And I think that's what at least we will do. Uh, Business being business, if a small affiliate comes to us, we may not be able to give the same kind of attention that we give to a bigger affiliate.
mm.
That's how the nature of capitalism works. But if you reach out to us and like we're trying to make decks and educate people on like paper call, like a lot of people in India want to know it. So we've been trying to like, one of the ideas that we had was like do like a session on educating people on paper call, right? Like more people get into it and more the right people get into it, it's better for the industry. So that's what I believe.
It is. So let's say on the other side, let's say I'm somebody that's doing big numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, we had someone here yesterday, they did 900,000 in a day, right? It's just crazy. But let's say I'm someone 50,000, 100,000 plus a day. What's the benefit of working with Blink Digital versus someone
I
else?
think you will get the insights that nobody in the world can give you. We will tell you why things are happening, why CPMs are going up or down, why ads are getting rejected. Uh, we'll have like a compliance team who'll educate you on how compliance works, how to make sure your ads are running, and we'll also like connect you to buyers. So if you're scaling 100K, we have direct buyers. Like we work a lot with direct. So we do media buy for a lot of like debt buyers, ACA buyers,
Mm,
right? On an agency model, not on an affiliate model. So
mm.
we'll connect you to the right people.
It's smart business too, because if you have I mean, at the end, you have the clients on both sides. You got the buyer and then you got the media
Yeah,
buyer. So if they can make more business together, you
yeah,
benefit too.
yeah.
So
It's all about adding value,
yeah,
right? Like, and I feel like affiliates have smaller mindsets. Like they think very micro. They should always look at a macro point of view. And I think people who actually look macro end up making a lot and lot in this business. So
yeah.
it's it's like it's like survival, right? Like survival of the fittest. So the guy who actually knows how to survive ends up making a lot more.
100%.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I want to talk about that too, because I get you see it more so than most people. You see these ad accounts getting and there's all this crazy stuff going on. And I think that you have that there's a lot of short-term mentality and that affects their ability to grow. Whereas the long-term people, they know how to do it right, walk the line without getting into issues. And that's how you grow. And I think I see that all the time as well.
Yeah, I think that's the look, there are two things, right? Like people think it's money. What I believe, it's not money, it's time and trust, right? Time is money, trust is money, right? So the more trust you build in the system, the more it'll reward you. Uh, the more time you give. Look, like for example, as an Indian company, it's easier for us to hire 50 people, right? Like, and then like just keep churning and burning, churning and burning, churning. But that's not the right way to do it, right? Like because you are trying to game the system. The gaming the system never works because there are smarter people, $1 billion, $1 trillion company engineers getting paid a lot to fix those systems, right? May work for 2 days, but it's not a long-term plan, right? And then what happens is you break the trust for the entire ecosystem. So I feel like the clients that I've seen, the affiliates that I've seen, the ones who've consistently built trust with the system and have taken feedback, they're still going and scaling business, right? Like they still are doing really good numbers, and they are not like stressed, I
Mm.
think, and like focusing on the right things.
So we talk about ads getting rejected all the time. Like, what's the commonality, and what kind of verticals you see are kind of the more like I would think more like the senior audience, the Medicare, that
No, no. So
no,
it's basically it's right now it's a lot of e-com that
mm,
gets rejected, and it gets rejected for this thing called unacceptable business practice. And we are seeing less in paper call. Unacceptable business practices when you make claims like 70% off, 40,000 reviews, which are kind of like not actual reviews, and like fake ratings and all that stuff. It gets so ecom is the one getting triggered a lot nowadays. People call gets triggered, but at a point where it's very aggressive and there's a lot of spend on those ads, and people have started reporting it,
Mm,
saying that this is like fake and it's actually not true. So the industry that I see getting most flagged right now is ecom.
mm.
Uh, yeah, and they can be completely white hat ecom, selling like complete stuff, but then like saying 70% off can get you flagged.
So let's say you're someone an e-com or lead gen, and you've been running pretty clean, and all of a sudden you have this, you get rejected, you can't run, and I'm sure this happens all the time. People call you up in a panic
Yeah,
because I mean you're talking about a lot of money.
yeah,
Like that guy yesterday, that's 200 million year ad spend that we met.
yeah.
I mean, what? How do you? They call you like? How's the whole process work?
So basically, first thing is I ask a lot of questions, and I like investing time in people who answer me, right? Because he cares about it, right? Like it's so easy to just tell someone, okay, give me an ad account, I'll start running, right? Like you
Mm,
keep moving, like okay, you do this, you do that, you move to 20, like, and there are enough and more providers in the industry. Uh, I think I want to ask questions and I
mm.
want to know what's wrong and try to fix it. And I want to work with him to fix it because it just doesn't benefit him. It benefits me also because my systems are more stable. I learn a lot more of why these ads are going down, and then I can make my system. That's what I'm saying. Think long term, right?
Yeah.
Like there are always bad actors entering your system. So my job as an agency owner is to keep the bad actors out. Now I don't know what, like for example, like there is a Chinese scam that's running across the world. I don't know whether you know, where they get click to WhatsApp and then they get like information and then like investments and wrong investments and all that stuff. I think a lot of verifications are happening in Taiwan, Australia, and now it's coming in India. Like I knew something was wrong. So I wanted to dig deeper what's wrong. I kept asking more questions. And then I realized it's a scam. So I said, this business I can't do it.
Oh,
Ethically,
they want to work with you guys, is
yeah.
what you
So
said. Oh,
yeah, so
okay, great.
ethically
So you're keeping the bad actors out now. Okay,
ethically it's wrong,
yeah.
but also it impacts my system, right? So, but then you never know who's right, who's wrong. So it's always important to be at the top of things, um, making sure you're always updated with policies, a lot of other issues and all that stuff. Yeah.
There's a new endeavor called Roofs in the Box. It's just, man, from day one, it's taken off.
When I first started getting in the roofing industry, what was happening was my fixed costs were always there. And so for me, I was looking at how can we kind of, one, save on these costs, and then two, how do I not lay people off during down times? But also maybe even the ability to pocket more money during the slow season or even the peak season. Since we've done this before, like with our lead gen companies where we have virtual staffing and from Argentina or Colombia, I'm like, why don't we do the same thing in the construction business? Now, once we figured it out, so we reduced their fixed cost by 70%. And so now during the downtime, they have real seasoned veteran type of players. But during the uptime, they pocket 70% of their operational costs are now going back in their pocket. And then when it's time to scale, they have the back end prepared, already ready to go to help them like lift off. Depending on what state you're in, you're averaging about 12.5% on what you pay out on taxes, insurance, all the different insurances that you have to pay out, right? So yeah, you don't have to pay out unemployment, you don't have to pay out FICA insurance, Medicare, Social Security, the things that business owners have to eat.
Roofs in the Box is not just limited to roofing or home improvement companies.
You can use it for any services, right? You can use it for IT. We use them internally for data sales, for hygiene, for analytics. It doesn't even matter what the vertical is.
It's like business in the box at the end of the day.
Pretty
is what it
much,
comes
yeah.
down to. Do you have an example of, let's say someone was doing crazy amounts, not a big amount, 6 figures, 7 figures a day, and they, for whatever reason, they got banned and affected their whole business, and you guys were able to turn them around quickly? Or what kind of revenue impact, or how well, can you walk us through that whole story?
Basically, I think 1.5 years back, a lot of fact checks were happening on like with like we generate and a lot of other clients, and they had come to us, and obviously I didn't know what fact check was like, and I had told them, okay, like so we started working with them, and like ad account went down. Then I'm like, okay, maybe there's something wrong because I didn't know the business, right? Like then like I paused, like I said, okay, we can't work. And then what happened is I did like a booth, my first booth in the Affiliate Summit West, and I met this guy called Kirby, and he came with an actual like like a problem, like saying my ads are getting fact checked. So I told him, okay, let's work together. I'm hearing this term again and again. So he gave me like a doc on like why it should not get fact checked.
Mm.
And then I read the doc, then I got involved and I got my rep involved and all that stuff. And then I got the fact check removed.
Mm.
Like when I realized that the whole industry was flagging things wrongly, the fact checkers were flagging things wrongly. Then like suddenly like a client who was a 80K day became 0K a day. And with us, it just scaled to an 80, 100K a day. And then we realized that as an asset, that's a really good asset for us. And then we started reaching out to a lot of paper call guys who are facing the same. Like we went back to VGenerate saying, okay, now you can run
Yeah.
because we can solve those issues for you. Like it's like you like affiliates are always looked at it from a like a not a good standpoint of view, right? Like so we are always skeptical. So we said, okay, we can't work. But then the fact that we realize they're doing something legit, and I think it's then we scale that business like with regenerate and a lot of other people. So that's a good example of you getting flagged for the wrong things. A lot of copyright infringement happens, right? So one of the e-com brands was being attacked by like a Silajit brand was being attacked by a guy for nonsensical reason. He was not even being mentioned, like some stupid content just going like systems are designed where like you just go and report and takes it down without
Mm.
even cross checking, right? Because like it's impossible, humanly impossible to check so many things, right? So they take it down. So what we did was work with the rep, figured out, okay, is the claim correct, wrong? We figured out that he was just abusing the system, like, and then we got the ad account back and we got the pages back. And then once the came back, that guy had done 5 claims in a matter of 40 seconds.
Mm.
They're trying to take things down.
Yeah.
And then the internal team figured out that he was trying to abuse the system, right? Like, and then like he's dropped an email to us trying to like threaten us and all that stuff. And then we realized that it's all a false claim. And then the guy scaled to like a 500,000, 2 million during the December Black Friday sale. So it makes us feel proud because we are adding value to the ecosystem and we are actually letting the right people run the right stuff. And because everyone's like all about making money, right? So you'll kill someone to make money, you'll do everything, right? So it's kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of that ecosystem here. So it's very important that you protect the right people. And I like to invest time with clients who've stuck around, who don't look at us from a commodity point of view. Like, okay, we are just some provider. So I invest a lot of time with them. I try to educate them. I tell them, okay, this is wrong, this is right. Let's do this. Let's figure out a way to solve it. And I think it pays dividend for them as well as us.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's a good
Yeah.
model. So, let's talk about the fact checking on Facebook, right? I mean, it sounds like they're going to get rid of it.
Yeah,
Is
they're
that,
gonna
how's that? That's got to be great for
no.
you guys, though, or what? What's your
So
perspective?
so the perspective is I don't think so it'll be great because there'll be community notes.
There'll be what? I'm sorry.
Community note that gets introduced, right? What is a community notes is like you sign up as like a group or a community that comes on board, and then you can just post something on an ad. You can just say like this ad is wrong or this ad is that, right? Like because right now it is very centralized with some fact checkers. Just think of it now, the system becomes decentralized where like people across the world will come and join a community and then they are able to like it like a Wikipedia kind of a ecosystem, right? Like it's great for platforms. For media buyers, I think they have to make sure that they're compliant, talking the right things, because if a community note comes on the post, that means everyone in the world will see it and then your CTRs will drop. And so I'm not sure whether it'll be great. I feel it's great for the look, it will be great for the industry because it'll remove a lot of bad actors.
Hmm.
You need to always understand that if it's great for Meta or Google, it's great for the industry because like you'll get a lot of like bad actors removed. Short term people who think of short term money, it will affect them. But I think people who are here for the long term uh, will stick around, figure out a way, be more compliant, and like do stuff the right way. So I feel like it's great for advertising as an ecosystem.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it's good to hear that perspective. You know it, so that's good. So let's go into the speech yesterday, your
Yeah.
talk. Great talk, right? A lot of challenges ahead with Meta, Facebook, all this going on. So can you give like a synopsis? I know you was an hour speech, but for the audience here,
So
like 2
basically, it's
minutes.
all about, so what I call is like treat your infrastructure or ad account as like your, like a wife or your house. Uh, invest in it. Like if some wrong things enter the house, get rid of it. Make sure it's as clean as possible, because that house will give you a lot in return, right? Like it's like like think of an ad account as an investment that will grow. Don't think of an ad account as a churn and burn commodity. Like I bought it, flipped it, okay, move on, right? Like, so make sure your assets are in right place. Make sure your ads are getting approved. Make sure everything is proper. Make sure rejected ads are getting appealed. Cases are being raised. If you're not able to do it, get the agency to do it. Stuff like that. Just have a very clean ecosystem. And trust me, like the biggest ones that we have used a single ad account for the longest time.
Hmm.
And once an ad account gets scaled, oh wow, it works so differently. Like the world changes. Like I call it the Hiva tiring, where you reach the highest level. Like you can do a chat GPT on like how Hiva tiring works. Uh, like, and you'll realize how things uh like change. So that's what I'm trying to say, right? Like an account which spends a lot of money and is giving proper feedback to Meta or Google builds trust on the ecosystem, right? Then what happens is you can do a lot more with it. It becomes more open, more flexible, right? So it's kind of like, but you have to be on it. You can't just be like, oh, day one, boom,
Hmm.
doesn't work. Like the world doesn't work, right? Like you go to a bank, if you want a loan, you need to have credibility. You don't have credibility, you don't get shit, right? Like, and then you build credibility, and once you build credibility, like the world works with trust. So like one of the things that I never understood is why are affiliates chasing money? They should chase trust.
Hmm.
If you chase like for example, if you trust me with your life, money is just a commodity for you,
Hmm.
right? Like, so build relationship. If you have a direct buyer, build relationship. Keep building that relationship, because that buyer will reward you not today but tomorrow. Make less money but build trust. So follow the guidelines. Make sure it's on, because a lot of bad actors will move out and you'll be the only one remaining, right? Like look at crypto. People who made money in crypto are the ones who've stuck around since 2014.
Yeah.
Like that's how the world works.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very different. Like and this world, like, and I meet a lot of Indian affiliates also, and I feel like the American affiliates are a little more long term than Indian affiliates, and I try to educate them on thinking long term.
Hmm.
But it's difficult because like when when time is cheap, like with the US, the time is not cheap, right?
Yeah.
Like everything's expensive, right? So it's difficult. So it's always a lot of other factors, but I think if you can build trust, you'll go a long way in the world.
Yeah. Wow. That was deep. Everything you said makes a lot of sense in terms of
Mm.
treating your ad account like your house or your wife, right? Building that trust. And then that's how my business has been able to grow. I focus particularly, I try to teach my team, focus really, you have a good client. We're not looking to make a lot of money short term,
Yeah.
because if you just do the right thing, you build the trust, you'll grow and grow and grow. And then what happens? Sometimes they'll move. They might exit their company, go somewhere else,
Right.
or they might, move to another place, and they remember that they can trust you and they're going to bring you with them.
So one of the things that what I believe is uh, you create business models and leave it for the team to scale.
Mm.
Right? So, for example, like let's look at if you are doing ACA, right? Like let's just look at that. Now, if you're following the guidelines and having no issues, what you can do is you can structure the team properly. You can make sure the teams are, because you've reduced the variable, right? Consistency pays, right? So what happens is, for example, if I'm doing an ACA business and I start doing ACA, what will happen is, and I'm not running aggressive, my ads are not getting flagged, what will happen is I'll create a system for it to run.
Mm.
Then what happens is, as a business owner, I move out because that system is so stable. Then what happens? I move into Medicare. I move into other stuff.
Mm.
So in a short term, it didn't give you that kind of money, but long term, it gave you a lot more money. And then what happened is you moved out and started building something new. You moved out of that and started building something new, right? So you then that's how business diversification works, right? Like I can't diversifying, like there is a boat that I'm sailing, and it's like it's kind of
Choppy. Yeah.
dicey. Like I have to fix the boat first, right?
Mm.
Like fix it.
Mm.
And if you follow the rules, it'll get fixed, right? The boat stays up following the rules of physics, right? So that's what I believe in. Like I believe that don't look for 30%, 40% ROI, 50% ROI. And a lot of these people are young.
Mm.
Like I'm a little old, so I've seen all this. Like and I also get tempted. I've got tempted so many times. Like some Chinese guy comes and says, I'll spend 300K a day, 400K a day. I'm like, wow, and pay you 5%. I'm like, that's 15K a day for me, right?
And easy money. Yeah.
Like easy money, nothing to do. Like I'll make a 500,000. But I know when someone comes and tells you all that, there is something
Right.
sketchy going on for sure. Right? Like, and it's important that you keep the bad actors out. A good business scales proportionately. Like any business which scales disproportionately without the world factor impacting,
Mm.
there is something wrong in that business, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you look at people like companies, like people feel that running offers make you money. Like I feel if your company is publicly traded, like like for every money you make in your company, someone's paying you 30x.
Mm.
So, like pub like that's what. So let's look at the best affiliate in the world. He would have made 100 million. Mark Zuckerberg made a product and now is $1 trillion company, right? Like compare it, like just do the numbers. It does like so. And how do companies go public? Companies go public when they show sustainable income over longer duration of time. Like today, a company who made 100 million first year and didn't do well next year and made 50 million can't go public, because people who invest in you are looking for their investment to grow for 10 years, not like tomorrow. Like like if you look at public markets, it's all about like mutual fund investing in your company, like all that stuff, right? They look at long term. So look, you have to understand money to make money.
Mm.
People don't understand money. Like in the affiliate space, people don't understand how money moves. Once you understand how money moves, it's so easy to make money. That's why like rich people are getting richer, right? Like that, because they understand the concept of money. So I believe that's like a knowledge gap that exists in the affiliate world, and they keep running, like avoiding taxes, moving to different cities to avoid taxes. I'm like good, you want to avoid taxes, but build an asset, keep growing that asset, right? Like, and don't grow it inorganically. Like, for example, like a lot of people use those discounted stuff
Mm.
to build a business, right? Like that discount is going off. It'll go off tomorrow. Like, for example, like I can like build, like a lot of platforms give us a lot of incentives, right? Like I tell my team that incentive is not, don't even look at that incentive, because that incentive is a depreciating asset.
Mm. Yeah.
Like, because the platform may give you 15% today, will give you 5% next year, 3%, and eventually like go off. Right? It's good to have 15%. I'm not saying I don't mind having it, but if I make that my primary focus,
Yeah.
then my company will never grow, right? So my primary focus, why am I getting that 15%? I'm getting that 15% because I have clients spending on that platform. So my focus should be getting more clients and more clients and more clients and more clients, not on going talking to a publisher. When I say so in our world, publishers are Facebook, Google, all this, like any media. We don't call, so affiliates are called affiliates, not pubs in the marketing world. So I call them publishers. So if you go to Meta office, Meta is a publisher for us.
Mm.
Google is a publisher for us, right? So they publish ads. So like that's why you need to focus on the right things, not on the wrong things, and build business to scale. So like a lot of affiliates use cashback and all that stuff. I look, I think if you want great service, pay for it. and you'll get good returns.
Yeah.
Anyone giving you a cashback will eventually move out of the business.
It's not sustainable.
Yeah, they're not sustainable,
Yeah.
right? Like focus on the sustainable things.
Well, that was great what you just said. You said a lot of digest there, and I don't know if you saw but at the very last speaker yesterday was Ankur Flight
Yeah.
Calls, and all he spoke about was money, what to do
Yeah.
with your money. And man, it was everyone loved it. They got up, people got out of their chairs, they went to the computer screen, they're taking screenshots, and guys like that big affiliates, guys like Rod Hart, Zishan Manji, Manny Perez, and Leeds Icon. Everyone was blown away.
Yeah.
I was blown away too. And that's what he talked about, the psychology of money, and that money should make money, and that
Yeah.
you have to treat each dollar as something valuable, and don't just like people in the Philly world, they're so used to money coming in and out, they kind of piss it away, right? So that to me, and that's why I wanted him to speak last, is
Yeah.
because I think that no one talks about this in our space.
Yeah. So basically, like, okay, so like money is important, right? Like, I think one of the things that I don't like about the affiliate world is all affiliates hang out with affiliates. So the
Mm.
perspective is very little.
That's big. You're right.
Yeah. So perspective in life is very different. Like, so generally, like I've been to the affiliate world so many times. Now I'm like kind of like bored of it because it's not adding to my perspective, right? Like, okay, it's good to have money. Look, smarter people are looking for fresher perspective, right? Like, and when you have different perspective is when you grow.
Mm.
For example, when I entered the affiliate world on this, my perspective, I can't be just an account. I need to have a different perspective, right? So that's why a tool got made. That's why like connecting buyers to sellers, right? Like always trying to protect my business. And what is the next? Like, okay, now I need to work with direct buyers, right? Like, so, and when you talk to a direct buyer, the perspective is very different,
Yes.
right? So I think one of the things I don't like in the affiliate world is that everyone talks about offer, which is scaling, which is not scaling. Nobody talks about life.
Mm.
Nobody talks about what's the next goal that you have, right? Like what do you want? Like people will take a private jet and come and talk and like do all the flashy stuff, and which is great. I'm not saying don't
Yeah.
enjoy your money, but I think enjoy it with people who can give you fresh perspective, because that fresh perspective can take you a long way. Um, so when you look at a solution provider, don't look at it from a problem solution. Okay, he's giving me a solution. Is he also giving me a fresh perspective, right? Rather than negotiating through 2%, 3%, what other stuff that he adds, right? Like what is the other perspective that he can come and bring to my table? So I believe that, and I think like like the point is this world has so easy money. It's so easy to get into it and just like be like, fuck it, let's just make easy
Yeah.
money. Let's make 2 million in like 2 months and just exit, right? Uh like then you'll just go end up buying a expensive car. Like when you get easy money, you don't even appreciate it, right? Like you just like splurge it, and then then becomes, oh, I've lost all my money, let's just get back to it, right? So I think perspective, trust, all these are factors that make a lot of things change. And I think this industry misses a lot of it. um that's why, like, if you look at summits, the same guy will not end up coming to the next one. Like what I've done is I've consistently come to every event that happens in the affiliate world, right? Like whether it be lead gen here, lead gen there, wherever. Like I've sponsored some of them, I've come everywhere, and that builds a lot of trust across businesses. They see the same face again, and it makes a lot of difference. I there are events that I've not made any money on it. I don't even do an ROI calculation. Right? I come for an event, I sponsor it. Like for example, I sponsored this, I sponsored Geek Out. I've never done ROI calculation. I know like long term it'll just pay off, because marketing is all about top of mind recall.
Yep.
So when you have a problem, the first thing that you think of is where I enter. So top of mind recall is what you should be chasing with buyers, with sellers, with everyone. So that's what I believe in. Yeah.
This has been great, Ricky. Wow, we've really gone.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like more technical with it, but we got into like a lot of psychological money, life advice, and it was amazing. My last question to you is, how was your experience? This is your first time in Colombia?
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
like
in Medellin.
Yeah.
I know you brought your wife, and how you guys having a good time here?
Yeah, just I think the event was great.
Yeah.
I think lot of interesting conversations, lot of different conversations. And like I like smaller events because you like lot of them were my clients. It's great to meet them, have like faces in front of you who've been paying you money, right? Like I think smaller events are more like it does better for the community, and like you have better conversations, and then you can also build a lot of trust. And I keep going back to trust. So yeah, it's been great. It's been phenomenal. Yeah, nothing to complain.
Did you get any fresh perspectives while you were here?
I think I think I don't remember the name. He told me about the rights manager on Facebook, which I never heard of. So that was like a good
What kind of manager?
rights manager.
Rights
so
manager.
Basically, I don't remember the name of the guy who told me. So I was like, wow, this is interesting. Somebody telling me about a platform.
So you did get a fresh perspective.
Yeah, I did get a fresh
Okay,
perspective,
good.
right? So
Makes you feel good.
like it made me feel good because I learned a new thing.
Yeah.
And I learned it from a very different angle. Like, let's just understand, I didn't learn it from rights manager will not make me any money. Like, it'll not for the longest time make me any money. But what it'll do is it will make sure that when I take a call, I have more informed decisions to make. And it's decisions in life that makes you money.
Yeah.
Like as a leader, I think the only job that you do is make the right decision. Your job is not like the decision to onboard and not to onboard for me is a decision that I take, right? So it's kind of the decision making leaders great leaders are the ones who have got their decision making right most of the time. And you'll falter, right? You will falter like 2 out of 10 times. And if you get the ratios right, you'll end up like doing great things.
Rikki, this has been amazing. Like, again, I did not expect us to go as deep as we did with this philosophical life lessons, money lessons. I mean, we got deep into the challenges coming up with Facebook. It doesn't seem like there's challenges, but I think that working with people like you that know what you're doing, you can get ahead of those. You can pivot, and those challenges become opportunities at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, makes sense. So that's what is what we want to do.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Blink Digital. We're going to put a link so people find out more about you. We'll put a link to your profile if you like. And we're going to be, I feel like we'll be doing a lot more of these things together.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope you had fun.
We had lots of fun. It was great value. And thank you so much. People, again, when you spoke yesterday, there were so many questions. You could say, Papa, that's why we went over so much. Again, 30 minutes, but he went over, it was an hour. But that was good. We appreciated it because I could tell it gave value to the community that was here. They came from all over the world. They paid money to come here. They paid money for the ticket. So that's what we wanted. So when that happened, I said to you, remember, I said, you did a great job and it made me feel good, man. So thank you again, Rikki. Great to have you on the show. Get ready to level your shit up with the LFG Show. We travel the globe to bring you heavy hitters from all walks of life. We've been talking some serious business, from the best digital marketers, government contracting experts, to top athletic and celebrity doctors. We've got it all covered. We're talking to guys who've cashed in for billions with a B. And the best thing is, we're just getting started. So hold on tight. We're about to crank it up a notch. Get ready for next level networking and masterminds within the LFG community. Scared money don't make no money or honey. Hit the subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, and let's fucking go.